My investigation is investigation number 3, which is the effect of ampicillin on bacterial growth. Ampicillin is able to reduce the bacteria by acting as an irreversible inhibitor of the enzyme transpeptide, which is used by bacteria to create their cell walls. However, some bacteria do develop a resistance to ampicillin or another antibiotic. I think this happens because the bacteria is continuously treated with the antibiotic, and bacteria learn how to defend themselves from the ampicillin or the antibiotic. Once each bacteria divides and becomes more bacteria, that learn factor is in their bacterial library, I guess. After this happens, the bacteria stores that, and that thought is passed down from bacteria. Now on to the zero dilutions. Dilutions were made, 5 of them. One was 50 milligrams. The second one was 20 milligrams. The third one was 2 milligrams per milliliter. The fourth one was 0.2 milligrams per milliliter. And the last one was 0.02 milligrams per milliliter. To get a concentration of 50 milligrams per milliliter in the first tube, a 1.5 ratio was created. What was done was that I multiplied that to 500 microliters, which is the total volume in each microtube. I got 250 microliters. That means in this first dilution, 200 microliters of ampicillin was transferred and 200 microliters of H2O was added to make that dilution. This was done for all the rest of the dilutions. In the second, a 2:5 ratio was created. I multiplied this to 500 microliters and got 200 microliters. This means that in this dilution, 200 microliters of 50 milligrams per milliliter of ampicillin was transferred and 300 microliters of H2O was added. The third dilution had a 1/10 ratio. I then multiplied this to 500 microliters and got 50 microliters. In this dilution, 50 microliters of 20 milligrams per milliliter of ampicillin was transferred, with an addition of 450 microliters of H2O. For the fourth and fifth dilution, the same ratio is created. For the fourth dilution, 50 microliters of 2 milligrams per milliliter of ampicillin is transferred, and 450 microliters of H2O is added. For the fifth dilution, 50 microliters of 0.2 milligrams of ampicillin is transferred, and 450 microliters of H2O is added. In the end, only the last microtube will have 500 microliters of solution. The total volume in each was made 500 microliters to ensure enough solution was left in each microtube after each dilution. So each microtube would have enough to add to the little disc, which would be used to do the e-test. That would test the ampicillin effect on bacterial growth.